Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's weather forecast, we'll be talking about more record breaking warmth across the country going into this weekend and several storm systems that will traverse the country, bringing more heavy rain, some snowfall potential into March, and more severe weather as severe weather season starts to ramp up as we enter meteorological spring here in March. So thank you guys so much for joining. And if you do love this channel and you like detailed weather breakdowns across North America throughout the year of 2024, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. So let's get into the weather forecast here for your Friday morning time frame. And this is March 1st. It is the start of meteorological spring out there. And looking at our current weather conditions across the lower 48, we have a couple of storm systems here. We have some rain down here across Dixie Alley and some rumbles of thunder this morning. A mix of rain and snow across downstate Illinois. This is really not amounting to too much out there, so make sure just to take it slow on the roadways heading out this morning there. Otherwise, out west, we are keeping an eye on a bigger storm that is going to bring a lot of moisture to California. The Sierras are going to get hit hard by some very heavy snow over the next few days, and let's walk you through that. So here we go across the southeast today with some of that moderate to heavy rainfall out there for Alabama and Mississippi, back here into eastern Tennessee, Georgia, into South Carolina here, seeing some of that rainfall potential. Nothing severe, just some decent rains out there. Then we look out west. Look at the heavy rain and snow out here. The heavy rain across coastal California, the heavy snow across Oregon and the Sierras definitely going to be piling up through the day. That continues as we go into that Saturday time frame, continuously seeing those really heavy snowfall rates for the Sierras, and that even continues into Sunday with some of that snowfall sneaking into the Rocky Mountains, into Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming during that time frame. Looking at our precipitation amounts through the weekend, this takes you through Sunday night. A couple corridors of some decent precipitation here across portions of Virginia, the Carolinas, moving through portions of eastern Tennessee, Georgia, North Florida there into Alabama, into southern and central Mississippi, and perhaps southeastern Louisiana. We could be seeing a decent swath of 1 to 2 inches worth of rainfall here, dry across the middle of the country. And then look out west across portions of the west coast near coastal California there, specifically northwestern California, western Oregon, and western Washington state. These areas could be seeing a couple of inches of rain. Then looking at snowfall, this is going to be a big snowfall maker across the west, not only for the Rockies, but out here into the Cascades, and especially for the Sierras. Let's zoom it in here, and you could see easily a few feet to several feet of snow for the Sierras going through the weekend time frame. The snow will be piling up fast and furious out here. So if any travel plans take you out west, especially into the Sierras or to northwestern and northern California, or even into the Rockies, just make sure you are keeping up to the latest data out there, because we are seeing a lot of heavy snow, especially the higher elevations you go into the Sierras. Some extreme travel impacts going through your Sunday night time frame. Now, going into the weekend for the rest of the country, especially east of the Rockies, we're talking about record warmth returning here. Another surge of warmth coming for the weekend for the plains and the upper Midwest here, just on the heels of what was a record-breaking warm-up across late February into these areas. We saw a brief cool down with a powerful cold front, and here it comes back again for the weekend. And looking at our temperatures this afternoon, you can see the return flow from the south here back into the 60s and 70s. We go across the plains this afternoon. Saturday, more widespread 60s and 70s, and this is only for the Great Plains, but parts of the Midwest and the upper Midwest on Saturday. And then as we go into Sunday, we have 80s down here across the southern plains. This will unfortunately continue to fuel some of these fires down here across portions of Texas. But other than that, look at the 70s, mid 70s at that, pushing up there into the Hawkeye state of Iowa. We're at 77 degrees Fahrenheit for your afternoon high in Des Moines on Sunday, 76 into Western Illinois, and 71 in Rochester, Minnesota. So a very beautiful weekend. Definitely make sure to head outdoors if you can. And looking here at your precipitation forecast for the weekend. So as we go into Sunday and into early next week, we have a low pressure system, a strong low at a 988 millibar low pressure here, upper Midwest. As we go into Monday, that will move further north here into Manitoba as a 992 millibar low, and then push east here across eastern Canada by that Tuesday timeframe. You can see it's going to be dragging a cold front along with it. And we have to be concerned. It is March 1st after all, the higher sun angle, more warmth to play with here with our weather pattern. So we have a lot more to deal with the potential for severe weather. Now this go around, we're not talking about anything too significant. Notice our CAPE values, our convective available potential energy, really not that high until you get into the lower Mississippi Valley on Monday. And it's really not that high on Tuesday here. So when you look at the main flow in the 500 millibar mid-level jet stream, and the flow aloft is actually displaced further to the north from our strongest CAPE values. So it's definitely not the best setup for severe weather early next week, but we do have to watch this cold front for a few isolated strong or severe storms. And if we do get any of those to go severe warned, this will likely just be for quarter size hail or brief 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and that would be favored across the Illinois Valley down into southern portions of Missouri here. And that's the area that we still have a low potential on Monday, the 4th of March, for some strong storms, again, mainly for gusty winds and some hail out there. The tornado risk is overwhelmingly low. Then as we go into Tuesday, some of that precip moves into the southeast. That jet stream, though, is further displaced to the north. The CAPE values really aren't that impressive at all, so we're not really seeing any areas on Tuesday, the 5th of March, for severe weather, so that is certainly some good news as we go into early next week. Then by the middle and late portion of next week and extending into the following weekend, going through March 10th there on Sunday, above normal temperatures are favored across the Great Plains on east through the Mississippi Valley. In the northeast, seeing well above normal temperatures here. Another trough moving in out west, bringing more below normal temperatures, especially here for California and Nevada. And it's going to be an active pattern. The El Nino pattern does persist into the second week in March. This means our subtropical jet will be in full force, and we're going to see more active precipitation here across the southern and the central U.S. during that time frame. And we are keeping an eye on another storm system potentially by the middle of next week, entering into California, bringing more heavy rain and flooding and more snowfall across the Sierras by the middle of next week. That'll push across the Four Corners region and into West Texas by the end of next week, and potentially into the eastern U.S. sometime next weekend by that Saturday the 9th, Sunday the 10th time frame. Now, the details with this specifically are a little bit murky right now, but there is a potential here for some very active weather. So you see on Wednesday, the middle of next week, we have a lot of precipitation, waves of precipitation across the country here, rain across the southeast, some rain showers in the middle of the country in the Great Plains, and then that bigger storm moving in for California again, more heavy rain in coastal California, possibly some mudslides, some flooding, even after all the heavy rain we have here. Saturated soils by the middle of next week. We're adding rain to that, so we're likely going to see some mudslides and landslides with that. And then you can see here across portions of the Sierras by the middle of next week, very heavy snow once again. That will push out across portions of the middle of the country. Could have a snow setup somewhere across the upper Midwest, the northern plains back into the Rockies by the end of next week here. And then getting in toward next weekend, as we have more of that dynamic cooling, we could have some snow showers across the upper Midwest from Wisconsin back through Minnesota and Iowa. Right now, this is a low confidence forecast, and it really depends on the track, the strength, and all the cold air to work with this low. But we also do have to watch the cold front with this low as well by that second week in March, as this could be bringing enough dynamics for some severe weather down across the deep south. So here's what we see with that. at. You have the jet stream down here. The right exit region of the jet is down here across the southeast. We have a very nice look for about 10 days out for our CAPE values. Remember, that's convective available potential energy, already seeing values north of 1,000 joules per kilogram, more than enough energy here. And this could spark some thunderstorms. So here's your lightning density forecast, and you can see right now it favors Dixie Alley and the southeast. Don't look at the specific areas because this will change 1.5 million times by the time we get here, but just give you an idea that the south and the southeastern U.S. will become more active with more thunderstorm and severe thunderstorm potential going into the first half of March here. And look at all the rain we're going to be getting over the next 10 days. This takes you through Sunday, March 10th, and a lot of the east going to be seeing some rain, especially down here through Dixie Alley, up through the Carolinas. Some of these areas could be up to near double-digit rainfall totals, and then across the upper Midwest, another swath of some heavier rainfall. Some of this could fall as some snow, and then across the west as well. The snow in the Sierras, but very heavy rain across the west coast here, and getting into the Intermountain West with some of that snow as well. So very active pattern upcoming for much of the United States and southern Canada. And looking at this from west to east, look at all the rainfall moving in across the west. Some of these areas could be seeing north of 6 inches of rain for coastal California through the 10th of March. The middle of the country favoring the Midwest and the upper Midwest. Some of this again could be in the form of snow. Very heavy rains across the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley favoring Dixie Alley, and then looking out east, really favoring Mississippi, Alabama, North Georgia, getting into portions there of the Carolinas, and then up the East Coast toward the Delmarva region for potentially several inches of accumulating rain through the 10th of March timeframe. So needless to say, a very active pattern is setting up for the first half of March here. If you do like detailed weather breakdowns across North America throughout the year of 2024, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We will keep you covered here with accurate weather forecasts on this channel. Also, be sure to press the like button down below. It helps to get all of this weather information passed along to more and more people, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Friday out there.